All right, are you ready for spring yet? Snow continues to pummel the region. It's been falling at varying rates for hours and hours. Here is a live look at the conditions many of you are seeing out there tonight.
No wind is blowing, the snow is still falling. Plenty of snow, more than a foot in many places. Some places have already hit the 20-inch mark, along with the winds, and some of us saw a mix for a few of you, but for most of us, lots and lots and lots of snow.
Lots and lots of snow.
Yeah, good evening once again. I'm Rob Vaughn.
I'm Wendy Davis. We are back to back with our wall-to-wall coverage of the big storm. I apologize. I am sliding off my chair. I'm having some trouble this morning. Yeah, that explains a lot, doesn't it? This evening.
It's been a long day.
Yes, it has been, but we still have a few hours to go.
All right, you try to get yourself stabilized over there. The roads, in the meantime, are kind of slick tonight. Crews are working around the clock to keep them passable. It's a tall task with all the snow we're seeing. We'll take a look at the very latest conditions in just a minute. First, we check in with Dan.
Lightens in intensity, but we're going to look for the snow to lighten. We are going to see the snow lighten during the day tomorrow. So as we head into, let's go over the temperatures. And get a microphone on. Yeah, Wendy, it has been a long day, right? Temperatures right now right around 30 degrees for most of us. We're looking for the winds to continue to blow, winds gusting 10, 20 miles an hour. Those are sustained, actually gusting up towards 30. And your visibilities continue to remain on the low side, half mile to a mile visibility, indicative of light to occasionally moderate snow. We've seen these heavy snow bands continuing right on through the afternoon and evening hours. And they will persist because our storm isn't moving. It is stuck off the coast, and there it will sit right on through the day tomorrow. Now, I do think that the heavy snow bands that have been dropping 1, 2, 3 inches of snow per hour this afternoon will continue this evening, will become a little more scattered and sporadic overnight, and then what falls during the day tomorrow will be lighter. So there is significant accumulation, additional accumulation to come tonight, and then whatever happens tomorrow will probably just be icing on the cake, and it's a pretty thick cake, 1 to 2 feet of snow. Some of the darker blues representing where we're seeing some of the heavier snow bands persisting. And it's really been from, parts of Berks County through the Lehigh Valley, through Upper Bucks County, the Poconos and North Jersey. That's been the area just where the banding has been most prevalent. And you're seeing more towns join the 20-inch club. We're going to see if anyone joins the 30-inch club. Well, we're not there yet, but, a lot of 20s and 21s popping up. So heavier snow does continue at times through tonight, lightens up during the day tomorrow, but the snow does continue. The breezes continue, so there'll be some blowing and drifting. And maybe by this time tomorrow night, we're done with the snow, and you can clean things up without the fear of additional snow falling. So here's where we are. Snow heavy at times continues through the night tonight with 4 to as much as 10 inches additional accumulation. The 10 should be the exception, but still, you're talking another half a foot of snow on top of what we have. That's pretty significant. On Tuesday, it's lighter snow. It's not nearly going to be as heavy as what it came down today, but you still can get that coating to an additional inch or 2 of accumulation. That'll cap things off. It's 1 to 2 feet for most of us, and we'll have to see how many spots do get up towards that 30-inch mark. That should be the cap, and it's a pretty high cap. The northeast winds continue gusting up to 35 at times through tomorrow. That'll lead to some blowing and drifting snow, and in those heavier snow bands, some reduced visibility. We have updated snowfall totals for you. We'll analyze what's left of this storm and look ahead to the rest of your forecast, too, coming up.
All right, thank you, Dan.
Well, the snow is making the roads very slick out there. Obviously, it's best not to go out if you don't have to.
But as you can see behind us in downtown Allentown, people are indeed doing that. People are moving through. If you got to go out, just take it very slow. Jim Vassal's keeping an eye on the roads in Berks County. He's been out there all day. He's live tonight in Amity Township. Jim?
Yeah, guys, toughing it out here and listening to what's been going on there the last few minutes. Got issues with Wendy's chair. We got issues with Dan's mic. We're not sure. Not quite sure what's going on up there, but hey, look at us. We're getting through it. Just like our photographer, Chad Blimline, the Berks Edition chief photographer, who's been doing some excellent work here, toughing it out with me for the last 10, 11 hours that we've been braving the elements. Very special work today by Chad. We love you, Chad. Now, Chad and I were just remarking, this is the most barren and calm that we've seen Route 422 maybe ever. This is not Route 562 or 662. This is not some back road here. This is the Route 422. And like we said, normally, especially during the rush hour, this section here, especially here right where the Wawa and the Redners reside here, this is normally very packed, very congested, especially this time of day. Obviously, extenuating circumstances, the weather here. And if you are out on these roads, you would know why many people are choosing to stay home. And thankfully, many people are heeding that advice because you do not want to be out on these roads right now. And same with 562 and 662. That is the way we came down here from Boyertown. And luckily, our vehicle was able to handle it. And it is passable if you have one of those vehicles, but you do have to drive slow. That's the common denominator amongst safe drivers in the snow. They drive slow, they take their time, they're not in a rush to get where they need to be, and as evidenced here, many of you are taking some excellent advice by staying home. Live in Amity Township, Jim Vassell. Rob, Wendy, back to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Appreciate that. All right, let's check in with Joy Howe.
Joy Howe. We haven't seen Joy today, at least since you and I have been in there. She's taking over for Jamie Stover in downtown Allentown. Joy, it looks like a wonderful place to be.
Oh, it's a winter wonderland, Rob and Wendy, and I do mean that. Yes, we let Jamie go home, hopefully unfreeze her toes, get some nice cocoa. She did a fantastic job all day. So, yes, we're down here, and, this is pretty incredible snow. I was remarking on the way over here with my photographer, Jimmy, that I don't think I've ever seen this much snow at once in my whole life. I'm not from here, so other people who are, I know, have the stories. But, this is pretty good. Now, we're on the side of the road here. We're running down Hamilton, so we're right in front of the PPL Center. Tim Hortons is by us, LVHN. And you can see the roads. They're doing a good job keeping it plowed. This gentleman is going by in an ATV the wrong direction. Hope he'll be all right. That might not be the safest thing to do right now, but, So you can see, though, the side of the roads, they've got a lot of snow that's been kind of drifting up. In some places, these banks on the side are taller than I am. So if we flip around the other way, you can see we're heading toward the square. You've been seeing this all day with the Soldiers and Sailors Monument hanging out. They're doing well. Looks like they've actually kind of managed to not get a whole lot of snow all over in that little area because the plows have been going around and keeping that little circle very clean. These guys have been working all day. These plows, these little ones kind of going around just to keep the sidewalks clear in some of the streets. One thing that I have noticed that concerned me just a little bit on the way over was a lot of people are walking down the middle of the street in Hamilton because it's the area that's been plowed because there's not always a sidewalk. And, people are trying just to get out and get where they need to go, maybe run down to the grocery store, run down to the gas station and grab something. And it's hard to stop sometimes when you get in a certain area here with the cars that are coming down the street and then you got somebody walking on it. Just be careful of that. If you can stay on the sidewalks, I know it's not always possible, but just be aware when a car comes, they can't always stop in time to get you. But it's really pretty. If you take away that we are all going to have to shovel and dig ourselves out and there'll be lasting, problems for the next week or so with all of this snow, it is just beautiful if you take a look and just really take a look back and look at it. And it's kind of a unifying thing. We've had a really tough year and people have been walking by and saying hello and just chatting and reminiscing about the snow of '96 and the snow of 2016. So, guys, it's actually kind of nice just to be out here and chat with people. Feels kind of like old times. And those are kind of nice to think about sometimes, right? So for now, we're live in downtown Allentown. Rob and Wendy will send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Joy.
So everybody head to 7th and Hamilton and talk to Joy.
Yeah, I was going to say, spoken like a true Southern girl there who has not been through a lot of snowstorms. She still finds it new and exciting.
And even heartwarming in a way, right? Some of us are jaded, though, who've been here longer than that. All right.
That's right. Speaking of which...
Among the most jaded of all of our reporters, Will Lewis, live in Bethlehem. Hi, Will.
Oh, Rob and Wendy, I don't know how to follow that one up. I was here for that 2016 storm, and, I was just as cold then as I am right now, but it's the same thing. And not jaded about this. This is what happens when we get these winter storms. I mean, this is a lot more than what we were thinking, but Dan and those guys have been right on it, just saying how much snow was going to fall. I can tell you this, the roads are really quiet here, and that's the one thing that the Bethlehem Public Works Department really wants. I've talked to them just before we went on live again, and they said that they've been taking care of the main and the secondary roads, but until this storm kind of lets up, they can't get on top of every other road here in the city. So they're saying they're going to do the best they can. Once that storm slows up, then they can start getting a better grip on the roads. Yeah, a better grip so that the drivers can get out there and get around and everything else. But as for the snow and everything else, you see some people like Joy was saying, I'll echo those sentiments of what she was saying. Those plowed roads, they're trying to keep those roads plowed so that emergency vehicles can get up and down them. So be careful if you're walking out in those plowed roads, because there are cars that are still using those roads. But for now, we'll toss it back to you guys.
All right,
Okay.
We'll take it. Thank you. Thank you, Will.
Well, the winter storm has municipalities all across the region declaring snow emergencies.
And of course, that means cars need to be removed from snow emergency routes, or they will be ticketed and towed, at least in some municipalities. In Allentown, the snow emergency went into effect this morning at 7 a.m. Emergencies in Bethlehem and Easton took effect yesterday evening. Reading is also urging residents to get their cars off the streets, but as they told us earlier, they were not going to be towing them in Reading. Free parking is available at designated garages and lots in Reading if you want to use those. A full list of the snow emergency situations can be found at WFMZ.com.
Oh, parking garages would be great right now, wouldn't they? No shoveling. All right. Well, PennDOT has issued travel restrictions on interstates and highways all across the region, including most recently 309, 222, 422, and I-176. Speed limits are restricted to 45 miles per hour on all major highways. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf is also urging residents to avoid any unnecessary travel. He says the best plan of action is, of course, to just stay at home.
And we urge you to stay with 69 News and WFMZ.com throughout the day and throughout the night and into tomorrow as we monitor the storm. You can also download our news and weather apps. You need to do that if you haven't done that already for your tablet or your smartphone, and you can keep up to date constantly. They are available for free in the app stores.
Univest Bank and Trust brings you the Univest quote of the day. If people knew how hard I have to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem wonderful at all. Michelangelo. Univest Bank and Trust. Financial solutions for your life.
When it comes to winter, you want the upper hand. So to make sure it could handle the harsh winter, we took the real-time all-wheel drive technology available in the Honda HR-V and pushed it to its limits in the most severe winter driving conditions. Take winter for a spin with a great deal on the Honda HR-V, the most versatile vehicle in its class.
Safe is washing your hands. Safe is social distancing. Safe is wearing a mask. Safer is not putting off your doctor's appointments or screenings. Stay safer. If you have an appointment, keep it. If you need an appointment, make it. The earlier you address potential problems, the better your chances of a successful outcome. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
Dad, we do this every day.
When I was your age, we didn't have the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue with snow mode. You know what we had? The occasional Sunday drive, a gravel road here and there. We didn't get to experience the thrill of groundbreaking driving technology on a daily basis like you kids do.
The all-new, fiercely reimagined Nissan Rogue. Get a low $219 per month lease or get 0% financing for 36 months on the 2021 Nissan Rogue.
At NJM Insurance, making our policyholders happy is what makes us #1. J.D. Power ranked us first in the nation in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance claims experience. This isn't just insurance, it's NJM.
All right, some people in the viewing area have already reached 2 feet of snow. I'm not sure how official that is. One report in Mendham, New Jersey has 27 inches, but that, Dan could help us with this. That was a public report as opposed to a trained spotter. That makes a difference, right?
Well, it does. Those trained spotters, they kind of do it for a living, if you will. They're trained by the National Weather Service. Those are the reliable ones. Not that the public ones are not. It's just when the snow is blowing and drifting around, sometimes it's tough to get an accurate measurement. But we appreciate all the measurements coming in. Weather at WFMZ.com. Send us yours.
Yep.
2 Feet Club, guys. It's going to be growing tonight. We'll run down our latest totals now for you. Lehigh County, Whitehall just in. You're half an inch shy from 2 feet. So 23.5. Now, again, these don't come in at the same time. For instance, the Coopersburg one, I think that was updated at like 3 or 4 o'clock. All right, there is a storm spotter in Coopersburg, 17. So it's probably 20-something now. In fact, most of these numbers are in the teens, are probably around the 20-inch mark. Same thing in Northampton County. We're kind of converting the teens into 20s. Hellertown at 22. That's from a viewer at weather at WFMZ.com, so thank you. Lower Saucon Township, 20. Bethlehem, it's from about 5:30, so 17 inches of snow. Huff's Church, we got a 20-incher in Berks County, which was a little slow to start the bigger accumulations this afternoon. Sleet hung on in Berks a little while longer, but notice those amounts now. You know, Redding's over a foot, Mertztown up to 15, Burnville 15, Spring Township a little over a foot as well. There's your 2-foot club in Stanhope. That's in Sussex County, northwestern New Jersey. Phillipsburg at 16 from Dave Markle. Thanks for the report. Dave in Stewartsville around 16 inches, and that was as about 5 o'clock as well. So again, these totals continue to rise. Now, later tonight and tomorrow, they're not going to rise as fast, but still, we're not done with this accumulating snow yet. Upper Bucks County was the winner as far as Bucksmont goes, but you can still see impressive totals. Trumbowersville about a foot, West Rock Hill Township about a foot, Quakertown a little bit more. Skiers are probably happier than anyone else, right? Snow lovers getting their fix after a not so snowy start to 2021. We're making up for lost time. And you still got some pockets of reduced visibility, you know, under a mile, under a half mile. Those are those bands of heavy snow. They started developing right on schedule. We said right around midday today. There's our coastal storm. It's stuck in place here. It's not going to move much through tomorrow, so it continues to spin back moisture. And really, the heavier snow bands with this storm right now are basically over our forecast area right in here. A little bit lighter to the south. You see it breaking up a little bit along the shore, but the darker blues are persisting. Parts of Berks County through Bucks and Montgomery County, some heavier bands, and a lot of the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos. This is some of the steadiest snow we have. We go over to our other color palette, if you will. This is like the normal greens you see in the summertime. No, this is not rain, but it kind of shows you can kind of see the darker greens better here, indicative of the heavier snow. So really from the slate belt to a lot of Northampton, Lehigh County, and Upper Berks County along I-78 and 22 and 222. These are some heavy snow bands that can still produce an inch, maybe 2 inches per hour. You got some up in the Poconos as well, a couple in Bucksmont. So we're going to see these heavier snow bands, especially the first half of tonight. Now, the snow's not done after that, but instead of, you know, moderate to occasionally heavy snow, it becomes a little lighter, I think, during the day tomorrow. But it does continue. I think a lot of the additional accumulation will fall tonight, but maybe an additional coating to an inch on top of everything that falls after tomorrow morning. So you can see accumulations extra from what we already have, 3 to, you know, maybe 8 inches roughly. So that snow heavy at times. I guess parts of the Poconos may see 10. Lighter snows tomorrow. The north to northeast winds will continue gusting the snow. And it's a widespread 16 to 24 inches of snow. We figured this area would be the jackpot. The jackpot is kind of rising a little bit where that localized totals could approach 30 inches of snow. Work your way south and west. Amounts still impressive and very disruptive, but less snow because you're not getting the banding and you're also, you know, you had longer mixing farther south. But there's that bullseye basically from parts of Berks County and Upper Bucksmont through the entire Lehigh Valley, all of the Poconos in North Jersey. Widespread totals approaching and in some cases a little in excess of 2 feet. So snow heavy at times early tonight, and it will stay breezy. Lighter snow during the day tomorrow with an additional coating to an inch or two. Cleanup days, you may need days Wednesday and Thursday. No additional snow. Kind of windy, though, on Wednesday. That doesn't help. Couple of rain and snow showers Friday morning. A brief shot to hit 40. There is another chance of snow in the forecast looming later in the weekend. That's your forecast. Rob, Wendy.
All right, just when we get this one finally cleaned up from, we'll get another snowstorm. All right.
Yeah, sounds that way.
Yeah,
all right, let's not think about that, though. No. Let's instead go to Berks County.
There's plenty tonight to think about. Let's go live to Spring Township in Berks County, and here's Tom again. Tom?
Yeah, Rob and Wendy, definitely let's focus on this one, right? Not look too far ahead, wait for this one to pass. Yeah, we're out here in Spring Township. You see a plow truck passing me right there, right near the intersection of Shillington and Iroquois. Take a look here behind me. Now, of course, earlier we were over in Wyomissing area, and, difference in terms of there wasn't that much traffic on the road to begin with, but much fewer cars. We did see some stranded vehicles on our way over here, and we just saw a AAA service vehicle passing us as well. So that might be an issue in terms of the roads were a little bit better plowed earlier, and it's just getting much worse. Like I was mentioning, the plow trucks not having a lot of time to get caught up. I know during our last storm that we covered, there was that window, and I think it was about this time of the evening, if I recall correctly, where in speaking with some of those plow truck drivers, they look for those windows to just get caught up before the next phase of this storm starts to work its way through. But as you're seeing, that's not really the case with this storm in terms of having some opportunities to get caught up on the plowing. Perhaps that'll happen overnight, or in terms of what Dan was saying, it might not really happen till the morning hours. But again, this snow continuing to fall, finding its steady stride at this point, and we will continue to follow it. For now, we're live in Spring Township. Tom Rader, 69 News.
All right. Tom, very much still coated in snow. He's been out in it for a long time today. WFMZ's Joe Ducey is standing by tonight in Reading.
So let's go to Joe. How are things looking out there, Joe?
Hey there, Wendy and Rob. Really much the same as we've been dealing with all evening. We've got the falling snow, low visibility, and the bitter cold. We did measure. We busted out the weather stick at 5:30. We had about a foot of snow. Checked a little while ago. We've got 14 inches now. So, roughly 2 inches in about 90 minutes. And a few hours ago, we actually pointed out that there's a disabled vehicle near the intersection of Court and 3rd Street. Our photographer Tim Lind is going to zoom in. You can see there, it looks like a road crew and some first responders finally getting that car out of the way. The city of Reading has 16 plow trucks out running right now. They've had them out since this morning. Crews are working 12-hour shifts until this massive slow-moving storm is out of here. That is, of course, on top of hundreds of PennDOT trucks in our area that are out there salting and plowing the roads. Here in the city of Reading, also trash has been canceled for tomorrow, trash and recyclable pickup. The city will announce in the coming days, once the system gets out of here, makeup days for trash, and of course, we'll continue to bring you the latest here with the snow developments in Reading, and we'll keep you posted in terms of any future schedules as far as what's happening here in the city of Reading also. And for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Joe. He is making me cold. He has no gloves on.
Gotta get him some gloves.
Get some gloves, Joe.
All right. We'll take a brief break. Don't go away.
I would say life does get expensive. We manage it well, but, just with activities, it all adds up.
But Giant makes our life so much easier. I don't mind paying for quality, but I feel like at Giant, I'm getting quality. And when I look at that bill, I feel like, okay, you know what? I think that's great.
Yeah.
If you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran and looking for a new career, trucking companies are looking for qualified licensed drivers. Get your CDL training at Lehigh Carbon Community College. In our CDL training program, you can earn your commercial driver's license in just 4 weeks. The good jobs go to people with training, and companies are now hiring qualified drivers. Funding is available for a limited time for veterans and their families. Call L-Tri-C today at 800-218-7759 or visit us online at lccc.edu.
I like to move it. I like to move it. Ready to move on from workouts like this? Now through February 11th, join Planet Fitness for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. With all this variety, you can move it in our clean and spacious clubs. And the new Crowd Meter in our app helps you find the best time to visit so you can work out with plenty of room to move. America, your fitness is essential. Join today for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Hurry, deal ends February 11th.
Jenna, will you marry me?
Yes. I'm engaged.
And in only 36 months, it'll be yours.
Huh?
Nothing.
I'm engaged.
You wouldn't wait for the ring to be paid off. So why wait for car repairs? At Meineke, whatever the repair or whatever your credit, we can most likely get you approved so you can fix it now and pay over time. Now at your locally owned Meineke, get a free check engine light scan. Meineke, doing car care right.
And welcome back. We're continuing to follow the latest with the snowstorm and covering parts of the Lehigh Valley and Berks County. A lot of snow.
Lots and lots of snow. Let's go to Montgomery County now. There had been a little bit less in southern Montgomery County where Julia Rose is. And we're going to check in once again with Julia. Jules, what's up?
Hey, Robin, Wendy. Yes, coming to you live from Conshohocken, southern Montgomery County. Not quite as much snow as you've seen up in the Lehigh Valley, but we got our fair share here. You can see snow covering the sidewalks behind me here. Clearly, no one has been out to shovel yet. That's okay. But here is one of the main roads in Conshohocken. This is Fayette Street, and you can see still a lot of snow covered on it right now. A lot of cars headed this way, but they're going very slow, which is good because conditions are not great. We have seen a lot of plows out, but they just can't seem to keep up with the snow that's been falling down. So there you go, cars coming by very slowly. As for what's actually coming down right now, flakes are pretty small and it's slowed a bit, but we still have some wind gusts and hello, sir. Some people out and about as well. No, we're not the only ones. So yeah, lighter snow coming down right now, but the roadways are the focus and what's really tricky. So we're going to keep an eye on those and we'll be back in a bit.
All right. Thank you so much, Julia. Appreciate that. There you go.
And we're going to take a break.
Let's do that.
And we'll be back.
When severe weather strikes, 69 News Storm Center has you on our radar. We forecast here so we know the area and can provide detailed, accurate forecasts to keep you and your family safe and informed.
We're looking for a chance of a storm in the Lehigh Valley.
Here in the Poconos. In Berks County. Bucksmont could be in for a wild one.
The 69 News Storm Center is brought to you by Lehigh Fuels. Order online day or night to save 5 cents a gallon at LehighFuels.com. Lehigh Fuels, your trusted energy partner. These extraordinary times call for extraordinary news coverage. Download the 69 News Live app on your phone or tablet to watch every newscast live as it happens. The people you know, the news you trust, 69 News.
Home. It's where you live, work, sleep, and play. At Raymore and Flanagan's President's Day Savings Event, we're here to serve you and your family. Save 10 or 20% on everything. Get new furniture for every room in your home. And pay over time with no interest financing for 18 months. Everything's 10 or 20% off in-store and online. All delivered with care from Raymore and Flanagan.
Are you caring for a disabled loved one over the age of 18? All-American Home Care will pay you to take care of those closest to you. All-American Home Care offers one of the highest compensation rates, including health insurance, life insurance, vacation, and sick days. Call All-American Home Care at 484-2999 484-290-5585. That's 484-290-5585. Call now.
All right, welcome back. You are looking at a live picture right now of downtown Allentown. That is 7th and Hamilton Streets. And you can see some people making their way. Not too bad. It doesn't look like it's coming down quite as hard as it has been at some points during today.
Yeah, it was coming down pretty good in Reading a few minutes ago when we last took that live shot. But the winter blast does continue for the whole region. A little bit lighter here, perhaps, as we look at downtown Allentown. Although, you know,
yeah, when you look at that,
when you look at it a little closer up, there's a good bit of snow falling from that PPL center camera after all. And a few cars going by downtown and people walking. So anyway, that's what it looks like in the center of Allentown. We are bringing you wall-to-wall coverage, as we have been all day long, and we press on into the night because the storm is doing that.
Yeah.
And we are likely to get snow for quite a while and to pile up another several inches, shall we say.
Yeah, looks that way. Dan is standing by. You've been tracking this for days, and you've been here all day long looking at this, and it is a doozy.
Yeah, it's a marathon, guys. This storm just keeps going and going, and it will through tomorrow. Started yesterday, worst of the storm as billed this afternoon and tonight. Tomorrow will be kind of a lighter, a toned-down version of today. Been watching our sky cams all day, and they are kind of a good indicator as to how hard the snow is falling, how much of the Allentown or the Reading skylines can we see, or the Blue Mountain slopes. And right now it's still a light to moderate snow for a lot of the Lehigh Valley. It is all snow, as it has been much of the storm. There was a lull this morning in the snow, and we also had kind of a sleet interlude where there was those stinging ice pellets for a while. I tell you what, if we didn't have that break where it was sleet instead of snow, I think some 30-inch totals would be very widespread. That being said, even with that interlude of sleet, we're still going to have some totals approaching 30 inches in spots. Temperatures are around 30 right now, but remember, if you're out in this, you're trying to clean up kind of in stages, every 4 or 5 hours, so you don't have one big lump sum in the morning like I will when I get home. Temperatures, you got to factor in these gusty winds. They're blowing and drifting the snow around a bit. Winds all day, 10 to 20, gusting up to 30, locally creating some whiteout conditions. And really, the corridor of the steadier snow is where it has been all day, through parts of Berks County, a lot of the Lehigh Valley, Poconos, and northwestern New Jersey, although we have filled in the steadier snows a little farther south where that lull was a little bit longer lasting. So our coastal storm just keeps spinning and spinning. Atlantic moisture coming back, rotating around the storm, and that rotation has led to some heavy snow bands really developing around midday, and those bands do persist into the evening hours. All day long, we've been watching for these darker blue areas, and you got one in central Bucksmont right now, a long-lasting one to a lot of the Lehigh Valley, parts of Berks County. And these bands, while maybe not as intense as earlier today, can still drop an inch of snow, an inch and a half of snow in an hour. I mean, when some of us are already over 20 inches, another inch and a half an hour just continues to add to the pile. Lighter snows during the day tomorrow. I think if whatever you wake up to tomorrow morning, you want to start shoveling then, there's not much additional to come during the day tomorrow, but maybe say another coating to an inch or two after whatever falls tonight. Tonight, we're still talking as much as 4 to 10 inches additional. Not everyone will see that, but where those heavier bands persist, yeah, that's definitely possible. Icing on the cake tomorrow, the lighter snows and those north to northeast winds continue, leading to the reduced visibility and the blowing and the drifting. So we got about 24 hours left. We're more than halfway through the storm, but the peak of the storm continues for the first half of tonight. We're going to recap snow totals. They continue to be more and more impressive by the hour, and we'll talk about your final accumulations in your forecast coming up.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much, Dan.
All right, well, let's head back out into the snow. Why don't we?
We were talking about whether the snow is coming down as hard in downtown Allentown as in some other places, because our first look at this image made us think it was not so heavy. But a closer look shows that it's still snowing pretty good. Joy, are we right?
You are right. Rob, you're always right. You're never wrong, right, Rob and Wendy? Let's take a look actually at the flakes. I was just telling Jimmy, it's kind of nice we can have sort of a bird's eye view, sort of when we look down with the lights that are down here shining upwards from the PPL and from these flags that they have. So you can see it's funny. It comes really in burst. So when we first got down here, I think there was much fatter, thicker flakes. Now there's just more of those smaller, a little bit faster moving ones, but not the pelt you in the face that kind of hurts snow. It's just sort of just the pretty light, fluffy snow right now. So, but again, wait 5 minutes and that'll change, right? So we're taking a look now, really what Dan was talking about. There's a lot of snow, obviously, if you don't keep on track of it. We got to give kudos to the guys that have been going around trying to clear this area with the sidewalks because it is pretty impressive. Hello! Hello to the people who are walking by. Just such friendly people everywhere tonight. People are excited. But people are able to kind of walk on the sidewalks in this little area. And because of the plows that have been out constantly since we've been here, I think, just running around this particular area. So there are people walking around down here. It's kind of interesting to see. You've been just chatting with people and talking about certain things about this storm in particular, but also people remembering, as we mentioned in the last half hour, about that storm 2016, which was a very similar feel. Fun fact, I moved the weekend after that storm to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I lived downtown for a while, and I remember getting out of the moving van, and I saw these giant snow banks, just like we're seeing right now, and I thought, what did I do? But you know what? It all works out. So now we're back right where we are, 5 years almost to the day. So this has been kind of a fun adventure to see, but it's still a beautiful place to live. It always will be, right? So we're happy to be here, despite that we will all have a lot of shoveling to do tomorrow, like Dan said. So for now, we're going to send it back to you guys. We'll still be out here and keep an eye on the snowfall. Rob and Wendy?
Oh, so true.
Yep. Try not to turn into a popsicle. We're glad you're out there. And now 5 years later, she's staying with the place that has the big snow banks.
That's right.
we're glad you are. Thanks, Joy.
All right, on to Bethlehem now.
Yep, we've been in downtown Bethlehem a bunch of times tonight to see how it's going there. Will Lewis is still standing by in downtown elements. Downtown Bethlehem, braving the elements. Will?
How you doing, Robin, Wendy? That was like a combo of that Allentown Bethlehem. I'm a little jealous because Joy has people that's walking by, talking to her. We moved a little bit down Main Street, and if you look over to my side, you know, it's always pretty busy here where people are out eating, and, you know, right now, there's just no one out here, and that's exactly what everybody has been asking the people to do, is just stay at home. So all these tables and heaters and everything else have been just piling up full of snow. Now, we do see an occasional person walk by, and like we said, they're walking by on some of those paved surfaces in the street, so we always ask them to be careful with that. But other than that, we've been seeing a lot of people come out for a little bit and plow some of the sidewalks or plow in front of their business or their, you know, residence where they live at. But then they've been going back inside, and that's exactly what some people have been saying. You don't want to tire yourself out moving all this snow. I mean, it's a lighter snow and everything else, but with all the snow we've been getting, it is still very heavy when you're shoveling and everything else. And of course, Public Works is just asking, stay off the roads. Please let them do their work so that these main thoroughfares and some of those secondary roads can be safe for travel as we go on into the night and as we get closer to daybreak. But right now, it's probably the quietest I've seen in Bethlehem since I moved down here, and that's actually the way they want it. So, reporting from a quiet Main Street, Will Lewis. We'll send it back to you guys.
Very nice.
Right. Quiet is good.
Yeah.
And pretty on a day like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the winter storm has municipalities all across the region declaring snow emergencies.
Right. And of course, as you hopefully know by now, if you're on a snow emergency route, that means you should really move your car. You could find that you'll be ticketed or have your car towed if you are remaining on the snow emergency route. Because Allentown has one, of course, and that one went into effect at 7 a.m. And Bethlehem and Easton have snow emergencies declared. They went into effect last night. Reading has a snow emergency as well. It seems to be a little different. They're not saying they will, in fact, tow you, but they really encourage you to use these garages in Reading. they've made free parking available at the Reading City garages. You get a full list at our website of, besides all the other information about the storm that you're looking at here on this webpage, all the information you'd need to know about who's got a snow emergency.
Well, PennDOT has issued travel restrictions on the interstates and the highways all across the region, including most recently 309, 222, 422, and I-176. The speed limits are right now restricted to 45 miles per hour on all major highways. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf is also urging residents to avoid any unnecessary travel. He says the best plan of action is to just stay at home. Wise.
Yeah, that's a good plan of action. Stay with 69 News and WFMZ.com throughout the day as we continue to monitor the storm. You can also, of course, download our news app, download our weather apps to your phone or your tablet. They're free and they have all the latest stuff continuously. You can get them in the app stores. And we have some breaking news that just came down a few minutes ago. The Allentown School District Superintendent, Thomas Parker, is stepping down to accept a job in Michigan. Parker will be leaving the Allentown School District in May to accept a role at the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation in Flint, Michigan. Parker has been Allentown's superintendent since 2017. The school board says it will immediately begin a search for the next superintendent.
Isn't it comforting to be around things we know, experiences that are tried and true? They give us a feeling of safety and comfort. This is where we can get away from it all. It's time to be happy again and have fun. We've always been here. You and your family's safety is our first priority, and it always will be. Feel the comfort again when you visit the Pocono Mountains. Find us at PoconoMountains.com.
$12,720. That's the average cost you pay for term life insurance over 20 years. $12,720 that you could spend on family, loved ones, or yourself. With a return of premium life insurance plan from Senior Life, getting all that money back is possible. That's right. With return of premium life insurance, we don't save you hundreds of dollars, we save you thousands, because we give you all your money back. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. Why would you buy life insurance from another company when Senior Life gives you all your money back? Get all your money back with return of premium life insurance from Senior Life. Call the number now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
As a dermatologist, it's important to be a good listener, compassionate, and empathetic. My goal is to find that perfect combination of care for each patient. I recently had a young patient with an unusual rash. Because we're able to diagnose this serious blood cancer early, she's happy and healthy today. This was extremely rewarding, and I can't emphasize enough the need for regular dermatology exams. My specialty is surgical reconstruction at Pennsylvania Dermatology Partners. I am Dr. Daniel Sherman.
We continue our live coverage of the big storm, and we find more and more communities entering the, what did Dan call it, the 2-foot club?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's an elite club you all want to join, right, guys?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, maybe not want to shovel. If you're a snow lover, it's an elite club that you don't get in one storm that often. Most recently, we did it back in January 2016, and we're getting there with Whitehall just shy of 2 feet at 23.5. Here's your updated total from Lehigh Valley International. That's the official climate site for the Lehigh Valley. Measured just over 30 from that January 2016 storm. We're at 22.5 and climbing. You can see more towns at least surpassing 20 inches, and we'll see that list continue to grow. Center Valley at 20, last check. Hellertown now at 22. North Catasauqua 21, if we round up just a bit. Lower Saucon at 20. Nazareth, fresh total in at 17 inches of snow. Berks, we have Huff's Church a little higher up in elevation at 20 inches, but the Reading area, the rest of Berks County, now over a foot of snow. And we could see a couple more 20s, although not as concentrated as we are in the Lehigh Valley and parts of North Jersey. And there's your highest total I could find, Sparta in Sussex County, in northwestern New Jersey, 28.3 inches, and elevation helps a little bit there. And Mendham and Warren County, Rob mentioned earlier, had like 27. They're up to 30 now. So they're the first official 30-inch total. I think that's in Morris County in northern New Jersey. Pretty impressive stuff. And the rest of Warren County through the Poconos anywhere from 15 to 17 inches. Bucks and Montgomery, little more variety with Upper Bucks leading the way. Springtown closing in on 20. Quakertown at 14. Trumbowersville about 11.5. And then Montgomery County, higher totals. Pennsburg, Upper Hanover, lower totals down where Julia is, Conshohocken, and then say towards King of Prussia. But still some impressive totals nevertheless. We still got that moderate snow. The Allentown skyline obscured. You know, it's light to moderate. As Joyce said, you know, at times it's the fine flakes and it's, you know, a relatively light snow. The visibility comes up a little bit, and then the heavier bands move over, bigger, fatter flakes. They accumulate quite readily. They're blowing and drifting with this persistent north to northeast breeze, and those heavier bands can still produce an inch of snow per hour. We're still seeing that. These visibilities under a mile and the ones under a half mile are indicative of those heavy snow bands. They arrive right on schedule. Peak of this 2+ day storm was supposed to be Monday into Monday night. A little bit of a lull this morning with the sleet and the drier air that worked in, but that quickly filled in, and the snow is still raging. The wind is still blowing. Expect snow to continue tonight and most of tomorrow, but it will lighten up a little bit. We're tracking these heavier snow bands, and you can see these darker blue shadings. If we switch to a green color, it kind of brings out the heavier snow bands a little bit better. So you can see that the heart of the Lehigh Valley, persistent location of these bands today has been that I-78 corridor, and we're still seeing those bands continue. Poconos, some of the heavier snow right now. Northern Poconos kind of pivoting up towards Scranton, which we haven't seen the higher totals here, but getting into some of those heavier bands. And right now, right through lower Bucks and central Montgomery County, from Limerick to Skippack to Northampton, we are getting some heavier snow. So these bands will continue, especially the first half of tonight. The snow continues later tonight and tomorrow, but it will become a little bit lighter as a rule. It can still accumulate. It's just not going to be that thump that has really been nonstop for many of us since midday today. So additional accumulations, as much as 4 to 10 inches additional. The 10 would probably be in the Poconos. Lighter snows tomorrow, a coating to an additional inch or two. And, you know, when you add it all up and when you shovel it all and clean it all up, it's 16 to 24 with the plus meaning up to 30. I don't think the 30s are widespread everywhere, but I think they're definitely there. Anywhere from northern and eastern Berks County through the entire Lehigh Valley, through upper Bucks County, all of North Jersey and all of the Poconos. That's your bullseye. But even if you're not in the bullseye, you're still talking double-digit snows elsewhere in the pink. Lesser snows the farther south you go. You're away from the banding, and you've had to deal with those mixing issues. Breezes continue as well. So snow heavy at times early tonight, and then light to moderate later tonight. So by no means is it done, you know, tonight or even tomorrow. Mostly cloudy and brisk. Some lingering lighter snow and flurries. Still some blowing and drifting, and we'll still add a little bit of light accumulation. Cleanup days are Wednesday, Thursday. The wind doesn't help, but it won't be bitter cold. Temperatures in the 30s. The sun will help melt off some of the streets, hopefully, and sidewalks. Rain and snow showers Friday morning. That won't be a big deal. 41 Friday. We melt a little bit of the snow. Another window for snow, guys, Sunday. But we have a policy at 69 News. We never talk about our next chance until we're done with this one, and we're just past the halfway point. So let's wrap up this storm, and we'll keep you covered throughout the night here on WFMZ and on our 69 News Weather Channel and on WFMZ.com.
All right, very sobering thing he said there, just past the halfway point.
Oh, boy.
Of this one. And as Dan mentioned, in Morris County, New Jersey, they've hit 30. So as far as we know, one of the first to hit 30. In our viewing area.
There's a lot of snow. All right. Let's check in with Berks County.
Yeah, back to Berks we go. Tom Rader is live once again in Spring Township. Am I wrong, Tom? It looks like it's falling a little bit more lightly now.
Rob and Wendy. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, definitely. I was just thinking that myself. I was looking off at the snow, even compared to, a half hour ago when we were in another portion of Spring Township. We've now moved over just off 724 in Spring Township, that shopping plaza there. Lots of shops, usually a pretty full parking lot, but you take a look there, not much. There is one location. We just found out the Giant is actually still open here, but we were here during the last storm as well, and they usually can keep this plaza pretty well plowed. A couple of private companies, I believe, they use to do some of the plowing here. We did see just a regular car pass through moments ago, and we were noticing some folks walking. We talked to some people that walked over from West Lawn to walk to the Giant to get some food and back. One of them actually was a plow truck driver, and he was telling us, and I get this, this is bad. He said his plow truck got stuck tonight in the snow, and they actually had to abandon that truck. They were able to go back and get some equipment off of it, but, that's bad. That tells you something definitely about the magnitude of this storm when a plow truck gets stuck. But again, yes, a little lighter, but still continuing to fall out here. I don't know how much longer these plow trucks will be out here as they continue to try to make some space. But again, snow continuing to fall. For now, we're live in Spring Township. Tom Rader, 69 News.
All right, a little lighter.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to be like for Berks over the next few hours if we're only just a ways past the halfway point. But we'll keep you posted, of course. In fact, we have more reporting now from Berks County.
That's right. In Reading, Joe Ducey is standing by there. Hi, Joe.
Rob, well over a foot of snow here in Reading as the snow continues to fall, as it has been for the entire evening. Up there at the corner of the intersection of Court and 3rd Street, there's been a disabled vehicle for hours. Crews still working at getting that vehicle out of the roadway. Again, well over a foot of snow here. We have seen sort of a reduction in plows coming through the area. So if you were kind of waiting to head out onto the road later this evening, figuring maybe the worst of the storm will have passed. Certainly not the case, because we are still dealing with low visibility, snow still pouring down, and honestly, the roads are looking worse here in the city of Reading than they have been over the past few hours. Now, road crews in Reading, they do change shifts at 7 o'clock, so maybe that's one of the reasons why we haven't been seeing as many plow trucks, but they do have 16 trucks out and about in the city, and crews are working 12-hour shifts until this system gets out of here. A lot of people have been maybe planning ahead a little bit, looking at tomorrow and later into the week, thinking about, I'm going to have to shovel all this snow. Once you start shoveling, just a heads up, the sidewalks are very, very slippery. Don't forget, we saw some ice and sleet earlier this morning and afternoon in Berks County. So all that stuff is iced over under all the snow. And maybe the folks were listening to us over at Public Works, or I don't know if this is a PennDOT plow, but we do have a plow right now coming down, or I should say up Court Street. So again, looks like a Berks County plow. So again, road crews are out here, but conditions certainly deteriorating as snow continues to fall, and we'll continue to keep you guys posted about what things look like here in Reading and throughout Berks County. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We appreciate that.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
Are you drowning in IRS debt and not sure what to do? Have years of unfiled returns? Are you receiving threatening letters? Is your paycheck being garnished? Your bank account's frozen? Or even worse, is the tax man knocking at your door?
Jim Corvino here at Corvino & Verwise. We help people resolve tax problems every day. For over 40 years, and additionally, being certified tax resolution specialists, we set ourselves apart from other resolution firms. Regardless of how much you owe or how many years have not been filed, we can help you resolve your problem.
Home. It's where you live, work, sleep, and play. At Raymore and Flanagan's President's Day Savings Event, we're here to serve you and your family. Save 10 or 20% on everything. Get new furniture for every room in your home and pay over time with no interest financing for 18 months. Everything's 10 or 20% off in-store and online, all delivered with care from Raymore and Flanagan.
As a dermatologist, it's important to be a good listener, compassionate, and empathetic. My goal is to find that perfect combination of care for each patient. I recently had a young patient with an unusual rash. Because we're able to diagnose this serious blood cancer early, she's happy and healthy today. This was extremely rewarding, and I can't emphasize enough the need for regular dermatology exams. My specialty is surgical reconstruction at Pennsylvania Dermatology Partners. I am Dr. Daniel Sherman.
Joint pain and arthritis are some of the most common ailments that affect us all. Comprehensive Pain Solutions are here in the Lehigh Valley at the offices of Dr. Barry Root. Innovative treatments such as stem cell therapy and subchondroplasty sound complicated, but in simple language, they concentrate the natural healing capabilities of your own body to heal naturally. If you're ready to get back in the game, call today for an appointment with Dr. Barry Root.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's still snowing. It's still
Yes,
coming
it
down.
is.
We're not done yet. Let's go back to downtown Allentown and check in with Joy Howe, who, when we last saw her, was expressing her love for large amounts of snow.
It's still snowing. That's right. That is the big news of the day. I actually brought out the storm stick, and I just wanted to show you that this is not a fair representation of what is all over the place. This is kind of the drifts that's coming. So we're right underneath that big PPL, the lighted sign downtown here on the corner of 7th and Ham. But look at the drifts, okay? Like, it's up there. So you talked about, shoveling out later. So if you've got like some snow that's been sort of blowing in one direction, that's not going to be very fun tomorrow. At least we'll all get a nice workout in, right? So again, where they have plowed, I want to point out, this is nice that this is, not knee deep anymore. But underneath this is a little slick. And of course, we're right across the street. It's great from that little sign with the temperature. And it is saying, I think, 35 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So if that dips, this hole is going to get really slick, and it's going to become a really big problem because, as you've seen throughout these live shots, we've had a lot of people walking by. So people running down to grab stuff at the Rite Aid or the gas station or something like that. So just be careful on this if you're out and about in downtown Allentown. But we'll send it back to you guys for now. It's still snowing.
Yes, it is.
Down.
Thank you, Joy. We're going to check in with Dan once again here. And Dan, I wonder if I could hit you on the spot with an email from Joanne just now, who wants to know, how are the accumulation totals determined? Is it a matter of just getting a lot of readings from the public calling it in, or is there some more official way these things are determined? Her family is having a big discussion about that now, and they're looking for some resolution.
Well, it's a little bit of both. All right, so we rely on your reports, and the best ones are ones that are accompanied by pictures with rulers, and usually you have to measure in several spots. You get an average because it's blowing and drifting, and it doesn't accumulate everywhere equally. So public, welcome to take snowfall totals. We also have the National Weather Service has a network of trained storm spotters. They have snowboards. They wipe it off every hour, measure every hour as it goes, and they are the ones the National Weather Service especially relies on, for the verified snow totals. As Joy said, as Rob and Wendy says, it's still snowing. And we could very well say that this time tomorrow, although in a much lighter fashion. So snow continues. It's heavy at times through the first part of tonight. It's lighter tomorrow. It is going to stay windy all the while. By this time tomorrow night, it tapers to flurries. So you wake up tomorrow morning, up to an additional 4 to 10 inches tonight, another coating to an inch or two tomorrow. We've had 16 to 24. Let's increase it to 28 because there could be still some 30-inch amounts. So Berks, Lehigh Valley, Upper Bucks, Poconos, Northwest Jersey, that's where the jackpot will be. We'll keep you posted throughout the night.
Thank you so much, Dan.
All right, we're going to take a break for a little while.
That's right.
We're going to discontinue our live coverage, although you can stay up to date with everything online, WFMZ.com, and our weather apps. And we'll be back with more news at 10.
And their weather channel's going.
The Weather Channel, the apps, all of it. See you at 10.
We'll see you at 10. Bye.
When severe weather strikes, 69 News Storm Center has you on our radar. We forecast here so we know the area and can provide detailed, accurate forecasts to keep you and your family safe and informed.
We're looking for a chance of a storm in the Lehigh Valley.
Here in the Poconos.
In Berks County.
Bucksmont could be in for a wild one.
The 69 News Storm Center is brought to you by UPMC for you. UPMC and quality go hand in hand. It's just one of the reasons so many people feel good knowing they have UPMC for you. Univest Bank and Trust brings you the Univest Quote of the Day. If people knew how hard I have to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem wonderful at all. Michelangelo. Univest Bank and Trust. Financial solutions for your life.
The unique beauty you want with the functional design you need. East Lawn Supply Company features decorative plumbing fixtures and accessories for the bathroom and kitchen. Small changes in your home can make the biggest impact. Our showroom displays bidet seats, makeup mirrors, new vanity tops, and hardware. Little luxuries you'll appreciate. Our experienced staff will guide you through the selection process and work closely with your contractor and installer to bring your vision to life.
For the best selection, you gotta stop by. Direct yourself to East Lawn Supply.
The 69 News app is all new. Share your photos and videos and you might be featured on 69 News. Be the first to know with the new 69 News app. Serving Eastern Pennsylvania and Western New Jersey, this is WFMZ TV.